I'm gonna see if there's other people that I know. Thank you for coming. So maybe we'll get started because I have a lot to talk about, and I truly hope that people are going to be working with me and helping me with finding the right words that we will be using. So here we have people from the US with us. Thank you for joining us. So I'll start from the top. I'm Fabienne Lindholm. I'm located in the Netherlands, and Maastricht. Where is Maastricht in the Netherlands? Well, it's actually a small little pocket in the south of the Netherlands, nestled between Belgium and Germany. And today I'm going to really talk more with you because I would like this to be very interactive, okay? So I'd like for you guys to type up things on the comment box, and we're going to talk about wellness in general, affirmation, which is going to be the most important aspect, and beauty tips to recreate this confidence that we all need to have. So that's kind of where we're coming from. So for those of you that don't know me, I just wanted to give you a little bit of who I am. So as I said, my name is Fabienne Lindholm. I always say I'm a Gen Xer, and I'm super proud of it. And I think we have Gen Xers with us tonight. I'm a wellness and beauty expert. I've been working in the wellness and the beauty industry for many, many years, and mostly working with adults, most especially education for adults, whether it's professionally, but also for coaching in terms of their professional move, as well as personal development. I am a coach in some ways, been doing that for about 20 years, especially with the teams that I'm working with. I'm a runner, I love to run. I am a keynote speaker, I am bold, I am direct, and I am very caring. And the reason I'm saying all of this is because it's all about affirmation. So we will talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So let's talk about affirmation, and let's talk about actual belief box. And some of you may know what belief boxes are, and we all have created hundreds of belief boxes in our head. And these belief boxes, we actually use them all the time, and we use them for everything we do in life. All the decisions we make are based on these belief boxes. And it's really important that as we are kind of changing, and it's why I call this workshop, you know, the earth is in constant movement, and so are we, because it is extremely important for us to keep changing and keep changing our belief box. The belief box we had when we were little, they're good. There's some good information there, but we cannot be using that all our life. We have to create new ones. And it's the same thing when we're teenagers and we're in our 20s and our 30s, 40s, and so on and so forth. We need to continue to change our belief box and that we have in our head. So there's so many research around that aspect of our mental health and mental well-being. And one of them is about our behaviors. And our behaviors is all based on what we've learned and what we've put in there. And one very good example of belief box that we are totally using when we're little, but we kind of drop it later on. And this belief box is, we've all have used that. Everyone in the world have used this belief box. Is the belief box that when we're little, we believe that there is this wonderful old man with a big white beard and the red, coat that comes every December 25th to give us gifts. And we believe this for years and years and years and years. And we wait for this all the time. We get super excited about it. And then slowly but surely, we start hearing different information. And we start hearing that this person doesn't exist. And at first we're like, no, it's not true. You know, I know it exists. My parents told me and I see it. I've seen him. I've had picture with him. And so we continue on, and it takes a really long time for us to get to the point where we don't believe in Santa Claus. And we continue on, and life is great, and we're okay without Santa Claus. I hope there's no kids listening to me. So this is what I want to talk about, because belief boxes and what we've put in there is what create our kind of affirmation in what we use throughout our life. And in order to feel confident at all time, we need to make these changes. So I'm going to ask the few of you that with us tonight, if you actually have some affirmation that you are using right now and that are, you know, helping you, and also how does it make you feel when you are using them? So I would love to see if there's something you have used, or even you have used in the past, that helped you to change that belief box. Because also what's important to know is this is not only important, but it takes a long time. So you have to be very patient when you are changing your belief box and when you are creating the most important affirmation for you. So that's really important that you don't give up, because it's not like a switch. Like the Santa Claus situation, it takes a long time to really create that new belief in order to bring it into this new box. So one of you, Melanie, just answered one, which is really good. You are strong, stronger than you think or believe. So this is a really good one, especially if you feel you need to have that strength and you feel you need to have a little bit more of the element of showing that you can be stepping up, that you can make yourself bigger. And that's often a really good affirmation when sometime you have people that are telling you that maybe you're not that tall, or that you're not that big, or that you are possibly not that strong. So this is a really good one. One very important part is when you do an affirmation, you have to say, I am, I am, I am. It is so important, because it's not going to stick unless you are looking at yourself in the mirror and you are looking at yourself straight in the eyes and you are telling the person in the mirror, which is you and your reflection, that it is, you are strong. You are stronger than you believe. But if you're not looking at yourself in the mirror, you have to say, I am strong. I am stronger than I think or than I believe. Very good one. Thank you, Melanie, for sharing. And would you mind sharing also, how does it make you feel when you do say it? It's important. And another important aspect in affirmation, you have to say them out loud. I know it's awkward. It's really awkward. And it's funny because sometimes my kids have seen me doing those affirmations and they look at me like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, I'm talking to myself, you know? Can I have a conversation with myself, please? And it's also an important aspect. If you say it inside your head is not enough. You have to say it out loud, and you have to really throw it out to your universe in order to create that movement and that belief afterward. So I'd love to hear some more. If anyone wants to share a little bit more of affirmation, that would be wonderful. So here I see, and Melanie is sending me some little comments. Wonderful. Thank you, Melanie, for participating and be part of this. Sometimes I get done and I don't feel I'm strong enough, but yes, saying it out loud is reminding myself that everything is okay. It snapped me back into that bad bitch mode. I love it. Very good. Love that. You know, sometimes you have to be a bad bitch. That's really important too. You know, sometimes we have to feel a little aggressive in order to kind of balance it out, you know. At the end, inside in our heart, I think it's not at all who we are, but sometimes we just have to be a little bit more than what that is, you know. And I love that. I think I'm going to use it. Especially when someone is really bugging me, you know. Super, I love it. I'm cracking up to Melanie. Thank you so much. Oh, Charlotte, thank you for joining us into this workshop. Wonderful. I'm sure Charlotte has something she can share with us too in terms of affirmation. I'm sure she's got some good one. Okay, so beside, you know, the affirmation, yes, it builds confidence. So there are other things you can say, and affirmation is not only about creating confidence for you, but sometimes it's about taking some fear away. You know, I see a lot of us have, you know, the fear of crowds, for example. And so create an affirmation behind that is really important, but make sure you're not using the not. I just used it. You're not using the not. Because when you create an affirmation, it has to be super positive and super clear. If you said, I'm not afraid of blah, 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 I'm not afraid of the crowd, I'm not afraid of spider, I'm not afraid of whatever, it's not going to register in your brain. It must be focused and it must be positive. So you would want to say, I love crowds, I love people, I like being close to them, I love big parties. So these are the things that are, you have to kind of change a little bit your way of thinking when you're creating an affirmation. It must be a little bit more on the forward, straightforward, okay? So think about that too, because we often have tendency to say, for example, you know, I don't worry. Well, yeah, I shouldn't worry. Oh, I'm not going to worry about this. It doesn't have that much of an impact versus if you say, I'm an optimist. And, you know, I'm seeing the glass half full. And by saying these, it just helps to be more positive also. So think about that when you create those. Affirmation also is about, also could be about, you know, when you're not confident about some things in your life. For example, you know, like financial. And so creating that affirmation by saying, I have abundance. I have all I need. I am full of ideas. So this creates abundance, and often it also creates the element of having what we need financially, because I know money is a very, very important aspect in everyone's life, and we talk about it a lot, a little too much, I think. But you know, that's part of our life, it's part of our society, and it's also a part that we need to learn to look at what we have and be grateful for what we have. And even if it's little things, you know, being grateful that we have health, that we have a roof, that we have, you know, a great glass of wine. I don't know if anyone's got a glass of wine, a little cocktail with you. If you do, let me know. What are you drinking? Or maybe in the US it's a little too early. Oh no, it's what, noon? You okay? In Chicago it's noon. In Florida it's 1 p.m. I think we have someone from Minnesota, so it's actually noon also. You guys can have a glass of wine, it's okay. But just being able to have this, you know, and being able to connect, it's being grateful. And grateful also brings a lot of positiveness in our life. So think about what it is there. And I know we want more. Of course, we want more. And it's okay to want more. It's okay to want a little bit more in terms of our confidence also. But, you know, being able to recognize what we have is really important. So I'm just going to have a little drink. And I think you should too. Okay, so when we talk about belief box, and we talk, and what I was explaining earlier in terms of behavior, this is really well known, of this concept of creating new affirmation in our heads to create that confidence. Again, everyone in the world has a lack of confidence in some things. We often have even the most confident person, I've met a lot of confident people, they still find themselves sometimes struggling with things. So all of these research, I discovered it years back when I was actually in Chicago, and from a behavior doctor, very unknown actually in this whole concept, and kind of explained to me how it works with recreating and creating certain things. And that was a mind blower for me, because I really realized that I actually could change my life. I could change the way I thought, and I could change the way I was choosing people around me. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to make some changes, is that I wasn't choosing the right people. And I was not choosing the right people because in my head, I didn't have the right affirmation, the right belief. And I kept picking people that were not right for me. And slowly but surely, as creating these new affirmations, because he helped me to create this affirmation, really brought a complete different light in my life, and also brought an effect on the way I looked, the way I felt, the way I talked to people, and what I was doing. So it's not only about, you know, mental wellness, which we all need right now, mental wellness every day, but it's also about creating this radiance around us and creating a field of energy that is going to bring other people around. So I don't see any other affirmation here. I wish some of you would write some down, but I have a few here that I wrote that are used often. Like, for example, if you want to create something and around the financial aspect, you know, I'm wealthy, I have enough, I am enough. For confidence, especially when we want to build up our brain confidence, you know, I am smart, I have brain, I am intelligent. And again, these you have to repeat. It's not going to happen one time. Okay, you have to repeat all the time. Things also that I found, women, we tend to always bring ourselves down in terms of beauty and outer part, and we'll talk a little bit more about how we can make our outer part a little bit more radiance for ourselves, not for the others, but for us. I think that's where it's important. But in the morning when you wake up and you go in the mirror, or in the bathroom, you want to look in the mirror, and most women, what do they say? Guess what they say? I'm sure you know. They say, oh my God, I look like shit. And you know what? This is the worst thing we can do to ourselves when we wake up in the morning. The first thing we tell ourselves is something like this. And this is also a super important aspect, is the first thing you need to tell yourself is something nice, something good. And we all have beautiful features. We all have beautiful elements. Find it and tell it to yourself, okay? So when you wake up in the morning, maybe you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't want to be a hypocrite either, because maybe you're not 100% yourself, but find something, look at your eyes and say, oh my God, my eyes are beautiful. Or look at your lips and say, I feel good. My lips are going to be speaking the right word today, and the positive word. I have the positive word. Or talk something about your cheekbones or something. And if you can find something that looks good for you about you, then use something like, I am brilliant. I'm smart. I'm going to have the best day today. And these are the things you need to start to say in the morning, because you don't want to catch yourself in the morning by saying, oh my God, who's that? You want to kind of catch yourself in the mirror and say, who's that? I like what I see. So it's kind of funny, but you know what? It will really put you in a great mood in the morning, and it would just really give you a little bit more of a, kind of little step, a little bounce in your step. Like I say all the time, when you're walking, if we have a little bounce in our step, we always feel a little bit better. So think about these, okay? And in terms of beauty. But even for guys, oh my gosh, men need them too. And they need to do it. And of course, guys thinks they're beyond that. But they also need that confidence, that help, and being able to tell themselves, that, like, for example, it might be a little bit different in the morning for them. It's more like, maybe I am smart, I'm popular, or I am enough. Or if they are someone that works, or someone that does a lot of sport, maybe connecting to that sport elements, like I am a runner, and I am fast, and I'm strong, I have muscle, that kind of things is really important, because it helps. Even guys need that. They totally need to be reinforced in that confidence, and it could be a business aspect too, it could be, I am agile, I'm solution driven. So it doesn't have to be only about physical things. It could be about how we feel inside. So again, for you guys that are there with me, type up some affirmation that you have used or that you have heard for you or for friends around you. Please connect with me and converse with me. Bonjour Catherine, je vois que j'ai mon amie Catherine qui est avec nous ce soir aussi, de la Belgique. I hope this is going to be a great English lesson for you. So, Let's talk about, I'm not seeing any more affirmation here. Please type a couple. Stay with me, because we're going to talk about how we combine now the beauty aspect. Because, okay, confidence comes from within, but it also comes from outer part. And we're not going to completely avoid that part, because beauty also comes from having a nice skin, a nice lipstick. For guys, it's really the skin, a nice groomed beard. And that's really important too. Feeling good. And there's more and more gentlemen and guys that are using products. So we can use beauty also to bring some features out. So I wanted to talk about how do you create a beautiful skin and kind of giving that nice, rosy, fresh look. So there are many ways to do that. And actually, it's good to have these ritual on a regular basis. And for example, you know, before I did this little Facebook Live with you today, I decided to do a little something for me. I wanted a little bit of a punch to my skin. I wanted to create a little bit more color. So I did an exfoliation and I did a mask, and I love to create some nice radiance feeling to the skin. There's some really small tips you can use. So yes, you can use some great mask, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite brand, which is Bob Orr. So you can use a mask, but you can use any mask, okay? So you can use a mask to regenerate and give more radiance to the skin. But one thing you can do, and I'm going to take my glasses off, is when your skin feels like it needs a little bit of color, a little bit more radiance, a little punch, then sometimes just tapping or pinching helps to bring more radiance and to bring to the skin a little bit more life. So you can put a mask on and you can just tap it while the mask is on, and it's going to create this really pretty outer look, because then your skin will all of a sudden have this nice luminosity, a little bit of freshness, a little bit of rosiness. And then at the same time, while you're tapping, you are saying a beautiful affirmation for yourself. You are saying, I'm beautiful. My skin is pretty. I feel young. I have a beautiful cheekbone, and so on and so forth. So you can combine the outer care of your beautiful skin to the inner experience of affirmation. Same thing, another thing you could do is the eyes, because the eyes, we always say, is kind of the reflection to our soul. And when the eyes are not looking so fresh, it's kind of difficult for us to feel refreshed. So same thing, I'm going to take my glasses off again. I cannot see you guys anymore. And you want to tap. So tapping around the eye area, doing small pressure point on the upper eyebrows, outer, and then tiny little pinching around the lower part, in the center right here, upper right there, and here. This is all of a sudden going to give you this nice feel of a great little pick-me-up. In the morning when I wake up, that's the first thing I do. I kind of look at myself in the mirror, and I don't say anything to myself. I just put my fingers on the top of my eyebrows. I lift over here. I do all sort of movement, and then I look at myself and I say, hello, how you doing? So, because it just helps us to wake up. And you can do these small little elements that are going to also reinforce the way you feel and reinforce your connection to that affirmation. Then once you've done those, you can look and say, oh, I got beautiful lashes, I like my eyebrows, you know, and so just make it always very positive when you're talking about yourself. So I know some of you are going to say, wow, I feel like it's going to be falling into narcissism, all of this. But no, I think there's a big difference between a narcissist and someone that is lifting themselves. And when you get to the point where you know you need to lift yourself to a different place, it is really has nothing to do with narcissism. And I think we have to take this idea away, because most of you maybe are very humble, and it feels really weird talking to yourself and telling nice things to yourself. But it is, again, the only way to build up confidence and take some of that anxiety away. You know, anxiety, it's a major problem these days. There's so many people that are dealing with mild anxiety or very high anxiety. And this anxiety all come from negative thoughts. All of it is negative thoughts. It's all of these beliefs that have been put into the belief box and that are being used daily. So there's absolutely nothing narcissistic about creating this wonderful, you know, positive movement in your head. Nothing at all. So don't feel guilty, because that's another thing people feel. They feel guilty, they feel awkward, they feel bad, they feel like, oh my God, I'm full of myself. Well, in my book, being full of yourself, it is the best thing you can have. So try to kind of avoid these negative thoughts and stay focused on how it makes you feel at the end in the long term. Hey Shannon, great to have you here. I love you have you here. Thank you so much. Yes, you're right. Guilt is the enemy. That's for sure. That is the enemy. Anxiety is the enemy also. Anxiety can be really challenging to, I would say, get rid of, because I think even if you're confident, you still have a little bit of aspect of anxiety. I think sometimes a little bit of anxiety helps push us to do better, but it's when anxiety takes over everything we do and everything we think that is dangerous. And that is the time to again create these great affirmations just for you. So how was the move, Shannon, to Nashville? You love it? I miss you too. I'd love someday to see all of you again, hopefully soon. I'll be in the US actually in June, so I'm gonna be in Chicago for a few days on vacation and enjoying hopefully a great weather. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is teenagers. I don't know if any of you have children or teenagers. This affirmation concept is a must. A must, a must, a must, a must. You need to help your teenagers to find the positive out of what they're doing and how they're looking at themselves. Some teenagers are very confident, wonderful. They don't need to have that, but some are not. And it's really important to us as parents, or if you are an auntie, or if you are a mentor for someone, or even an educator for someone, you need to be able to look at how do you make a difference to help these teenagers. They're going through a lot. They don't understand what's going on in their head. and they need someone to rationalize them because the front lobe is not developed. And they also need someone to give them how they should be thinking and what they should be thinking of themselves. And so I think it's really important to help teenagers. So often they don't listen to parents. Mine are really good. I'm really happy. But often when we tell them to do something, they won't do it. So even, I think sometimes it's recording some things that they can listen before going to bed, because actually affirmation are the best before going to sleep. So having a small recording, taking their phone and recording a few things for them that is really positive about their image and what they do, and they can listen in bed by themselves so no one sees them and they do it on their own time, is really the best way. Just make sure when you're recording something for you teenagers that you are telling their names, not just you, but Sophie, you are blah blah blah. I don't know, August, you are a wonderful runner. You need to say their name so they really know it's addressing them. So affirmation for teenager and for children, it's rare that they'll do it on their own. They won't know how to create them. So it's important that you as a parent or as an adult around them to give them a little bit of guideline and how to use them. So they're really good. Again, for teenager, there's a lot about the outer appearance. So helping them with their skincare routine, giving them something that's going to help them to, be more connected in terms of taking care of themselves, a cleanser, an exfoliation, helping them with their breakout, finding solutions. It's also a really important aspect because they can become really down on themselves if their skin is not looking good and healthy. So you can do any type of mask. Again, something that's going to help to absorb some of the oil and the bacteria. Doing mask, and they can also do affirmation while the mask is on, and supporting them in their routine for that. So don't forget people around you. You are the first one, and so you need to take care of yourself first. I always refer back to when we travel. They always say if the cabin has low pressure and the mask comes down, the parents have to put their mask on first, and then they can take care of the children. Same thing here. You need to put your mask on first, so you need to create your own affirmation first, because you need to have that inside you first, and then you need to take care of them, okay? Because if you don't have it inside you, you cannot take care of them. So please make sure you don't reverse the role. Really tough one to do on that one. I know. So think about these things in terms of who you can help out and who you can give a little bit more of affirmations around any type of situation. So I see we have a few people with us. Anyone wants to share an affirmation that they've created for themselves, or that they've used? Earlier, Melanie shared something that was really good about being strong, about being badass. Is there anyone that wants to share an affirmation that they've used in the past? I'm gonna have a little drink. Like I say, it's 7 o'clock, a little bit more here actually. It is almost 7:45 here in Maastricht. Most of you that are joining me here that I've seen and mentioned something are in the US, so you're early afternoon. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So cheers. Anyone has a little affirmation that they want to share? Okay, well, while you may be thinking about one, I was saying the best way to create an affirmation is also creating an affirmation based on the quality you want to have. Okay, so think about something you want to be. What is your dream? What do you want to be? I've always say I want to be a keynote speaker. So I always say now I'm a keynote speaker. And I am a keynote speaker. So things we put them out into the world, will happen and will start. So great way to create one is through that. Here we go. Shannon, thank you for sharing. Yes, I am worthy of everything good in my life. Absolutely. Oh my God, this is such a good one, Shannon. I deserve to be happy. I am worthy of what I have. You know, sometimes we always say, oh, I'm lucky or I'm grateful, which is good. Yeah. But I am worthy means that you really own it. It's yours and it's really important to you. So I think that is one of the best thing is being worthy of everything we have and what we own. Thank you, Shannon, for sharing that one because I think it is a really important one. I deserve to be happy. I deserve my happiness. I deserve what I have. I deserve my house. I deserve my health. I deserve my wealth. You know, all of these deserving, being worthy of is also a really good aspect. So the last thing I want to share is a little bit of another little tips for skin. If you have any question on beauty tips or on anything, please use the comment box to write it down. And Shannon just mentioned, my pleasure. It took me some time to get to that place. Yes, yes. And that's what I was saying at the beginning. Be patient. Be patient because it takes a long time. When we start doing this and we go on this journey, we have to take time and it takes a lot of time. So any questions, any tips, any things you want to know, go ahead and put it on the comment box. I'll be happy to answer that. I don't see anything. I'm just going to go through, see if I missed anything. No, doesn't look like I did. No questions, no comments. So my last little tips is, speaking out words. It's usually really important to speak it out from a beautiful mouth or beautiful lips, and using something around these lips that helps to create a nice following, a nice how can I say it? It's not a nice plump, the nice plump lips. It's really taking care of it. So make sure you have really important aspect where you're doing something for your skin. It's not only for your face, but it's around your lips too. And taking care of your lips will take care of a major feature, because when you are speaking the truth, when you're speaking for yourself, then you need to make sure it comes out of something you're really proud of. And I love, like, again, I'm a big Babor fan because I do a lot of work with Babor, and this products right here, I love it. It's plumping, and you can put it around and it moisturizes and keeps the lips very hydrated, and it gives a nice little element, so when you speak out your word, they come out of a beautiful box. So think about all of these, because speaking out affirmation, creating confidence for yourself, creating everything that you need to move forward in life, needs to also come out of a nice envelope and a nice superficial element. So don't give too much space for one thing versus the other. You need to do both. Confidence comes from the outer and from the inner. So take care of it. Self-care is super important. Mental wellness, and actually I'm going to be talking about mental wellness versus mental health in the future. So hopefully you can come in on one of my next Facebook Live. We can talk about the difference between the two, because there is a big difference between mental wellness and mental health. And all of this is a package. You can't just do only one versus the other. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to end this little show today, and I would love to hear from you and send me comments. Please visit my website, fabiennegl.com. There's a lot of blogs there. There's some video. You can also visit my YouTube channel. It's Fabienne Lindholm. It's quite easy. Become friends on Facebook and Instagram. Don't hesitate to connect with me. I'm very accessible via these social media channel. Let's keep together. Let's work together. Please also share the information you get from me to your friends. I'm sure there are many people out there that could or would enjoy some of my content. So I would strongly and very, very much appreciate if you could share the information on social media and come and see me, whether it's here via these beautiful channels. I'm so glad we have them, or in the future in person in my next event. Thank you so much. And I'm going to see if there's some more question and see if anyone is having a question. Is there anything? No, I don't see anything. So thank you so much. Have a great day for those of you in the US. Have a great evening for those of you in Europe. And we'll see you very soon. Love you. Bye.